On this day in history, September 30th, 1938, Germany, France, Britain, and Italy meet in Munich for a conference where British Prime Minister Neville Chamberlain predicts peace in our time. Sadly, World War II begins less than 1 year later. Fast forward to September 30th, 1946, where post-war verdicts are handed down in the Nuremberg war crimes trial, 12 Nazi leaders sentenced to death by hanging. You know, earlier in this broadcast, in our feature known as The Wire, we discussed former Vermont Governor Howard Dean's appearance on MSNBC attacking media coverage of Donald Trump. Let's take a look at more of that interview.
We have used a double standard on Donald Trump and created Donald Trump. $2 billion worth of free time. Why? Because his ratings are great. The Trump show, the Trump Chinese ties and the Trump meat and the Trump all this stuff, keeping Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders off the air on the night of the Florida primary, calling in to talk shows, including the most venerable talk shows in the country, the Sunday talk shows. You think Tim Russert or Bob Schieffer would have let a candidate call in to the talk shows in his pajamas? The media has given this guy a free ride in the beginning because he was great for the ratings.
Well, someone who knows this subject better than anyone else is Dan Gainor of the Media Research Center, where he serves as Vice President of Business and Culture. Dan, we always appreciate your time on Newsmax Prime. Yes, Mr. Trump is great for ratings, but do you think the media just gave him that exposure initially, primarily because of his ability to draw an audience?
Well, I think it goes back even to the time on NBC. He had more than 11 years on NBC where he worked hand in hand with their news division promoting him. They almost never revealed the connection, even in news stories. So, going forward, I think journalists, a lot of them knew him, a lot of them liked him, and it's only when he really outed himself as conservative on some issues, particularly on immigration, that the media freaked out and said, oh, well, we can't be behind this guy. And they've switched, did a huge 180, and now they spend every second waking or sleeping trying to stop his campaign.
Including the saga of Alicia Machado. Prior to the debate, many of us didn't really recall the former beauty queen. Now it seems as if every program is covering her past with Donald Trump. Want to take a look at a screen capture from MRC's Newsbuster page. Look at the headline, Media Eviscerate Trump as Misogynistic, Give Liberal Sleazes a Pass. And it reads, sleazy and misogynistic men have roamed the halls of the Capitol building and the White House for years. However, the media tends to disproportionately target those on the political right. Ta-da! Is that what we're seeing right now?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, whether it's Bill Clinton or JFK or, his brother Teddy, or you go down the line and you look and even Anthony Weiner. If the left and the media had their way, they would have put Bill Clinton back in the White House as, I guess, first gentleman, odd sobriquet, and then Anthony Weiner as the husband of Huma Abedin, and they are two of the most notorious sleazeballs in American politics, and they don't even want to talk about it even now.
Well, thank goodness for you guys, because you're willing to talk about them and point out a bit of the hypocrisy. Something else we found from your hard work at the Media Research Center, a BuzzFeed poll on who everybody's voting for in the presidential election. Well, it came up with 97% Donald Trump. So the folks at BuzzFeed on that site put up a disclaimer reading, this poll no longer accurately reflects the opinions of real people. Please remember to vote in the upcoming election. Real people don't read BuzzFeed? What's the deal there?
Well, this is classic, because BuzzFeed pretends to be a news site. And, yet the editor, Ben Smith, has come out and blatantly said the outlet doesn't see that there are two views on what he calls civil rights issues, gay rights issues, all sorts of things. At one point, they changed their avatar to a rainbow flag to push LGBT. They had a float in the gay parade. And then they run these quizzes. They run quizzes all the time on their website. Here, they think, oh, well, that's not legit because some people apparently hacked their software and were able to post a lot of votes for Trump. Well, then they post quizzes like this. We know your rap name based on your favorite drink. What percent human disaster are you? And my favorite, what would be your job if you worked in porn?
Gee.
So we're supposed to treat those quizzes like they're legit, but oh, don't believe this poll because it got a result that the BuzzFeed liberals, they don't like.
Yeah, very curious how, this is the thing about the left. Allegedly so open-minded, so inclusive, but only when it fits their collective worldview. It seems as if you live in a target-rich environment given where we are right now, the tenor of our times. I'm just going to give you 30 seconds to wrap it up.
Well, I mean, yeah, everywhere you look right now, the American media, and not just news, but entertainment too, are lining up to make only one result happen. We saw the stars of the Avengers movies and the stars of Star Trek join with the major news media, all trying to elect Hillary Clinton. That's the way it is.
Yep, that's the way it is. And that guy used to say it. He was somewhat biased too. That's the way it is. And at the risk, I was such a trekker as a kid, I'll just say this to you. Live long and prosper, Dan Gainor. We appreciate your time.